Kurt Warner here on the Rich Eisen Show, and then once the combine is over, then we turn our attention to the free agency front. And I mean, look, I think the Brady conversation is going to start heating up this week. There's already reports that he and the Patriots are going to meet with one another. What do you think is going on in Tom Brady's head? Your best guess, Kurt.
Well, I mean, I like that he's exploring things. I mean, maybe more so as an analyst than anything, because it's fun for us to speculate on all of that stuff. I still believe that the best fit for him is New England, a comfort zone with a defense that he knows is going to be a top 10 defense. Yes, I know they've got some moving parts offensively and some young guys, and it didn't all come together last year. But even with all of that, they were extremely successful last year. And now if they just get a little bit better offensively, I believe that puts them in a position to compete again. And that, to me, is what Tom Brady wants. I just understand when you go somewhere else, there can be a learning curve there. And that, to me, is what I look at with Tom Brady. And I go, does he have enough time, to be able to bring another team to that level? Because when, I talked to him this year, his biggest thing was he just knew when they went out on Sunday afternoons that they couldn't compete at the standard of the level that he was used to competing, and that was the hardest thing for him this past year with the Patriots. There's no guarantee that he shows up somewhere else, even if the team is maybe better offensively, and they play up to that standard either. So does it take a year or two to get there, and how much more time does he have? So I just think the best fit is still in New England. But, man, would it be fun to see him go compete somewhere else? And, where is that? Do you choose an LA Chargers or an Oakland Raider team where, maybe a little bit better offensively than what you had, but you got to compete against Patrick Mahomes twice a year. One thing about the Patriots for so long is they win their division, and it puts them in a great position to compete in the playoffs. Man, you go and have to compete against Patrick Mahomes. One side of that is great. We got to beat the best. But the other side is, well, it's going to be a lot harder to get one of those top seeds when we got to compete against the Super Bowl champs. And so all that stuff is so fascinating to me. And as you know, we're waiting for one of those chips, I guess, to fall and see what happens there with Tom Brady, and then how does that shake up the rest of the teams that are looking for a guy?
Well, I guess then maybe that's why that there's that constant rumor, as well as some of the reporting. Jeff Darlington of ESPN reporting it on Adam Schefter's podcast, which he said when he was on the show last week that the Titans are a good spot or front runner spot. And then there's the Colts, Kurt. I mean, I understand that would be if you're taking the approach that it's just tough to see Brady in another uniform, or he will find it tough to be in another uniform. The latter, one would think it would be, something that he would have trouble grasping, walking into a building with Peyton Manning's statue in front of it. But it just seems to me that if you want to talk about a division where obviously Deshaun Watson's no slouch, but Patrick Mahomes is the reigning Super Bowl MVP that you don't want to face twice a year. That the AFC South might be, same conference. He could maybe potentially have New England come into his house or vice versa to go that. Better than most about playing in a dome, and that's no criticism. He's 40 some odd years old. He could play 8 of his games in a dome. Right, or nine because we're including Houston too. So that sounds like a good spot there.
No, I don't think there's any doubt. I think there's a lot of things. I love Frank Reich. I love what he does offensively. I think Tom obviously makes that team better. I would just say, do you think that's a team that missed the playoffs last year? Do you think you, at your age, as great as Tom Brady's been, are you the difference maker that gets this team to championship level quickly? Because once again, we got to remember the age here. What are we talking? Do we really think 2 years, 2 more years? Do we think it's 3 or 4? And what are you willing to go through in that process to help build a championship type team? Now the Titans, I think, is definitely intriguing because of where they went last year and how good they were last year. But I think a lot of things went right for the Titans last year. I'm not sure you just line them up every year and you say, oh, this is a team that's an AFC championship team. I'm not sure that's the case with their talent level across the board, even though they had a phenomenal year last year.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download The Rich Eisen Show app.